My name is Sasha, joined by our 2K TV correspondent Blake.
Hey, Sasha.
And my team producer Robbie.
Good to be here.
Guys, we got our table back.
Yes.
Well, we are halfway through our game days for the $250,000 My Team Unlimited tournament. We have 16 players in and 16 spots left to fill. In January, there will be a 32-player tournament to decide which two will travel to the finals in the Windy City of Chicago for NBA All-Star 2020. Blake, for those who may not know or just need a little bit of a refresher, what do people need to do to get into the game days?
So just between now and December 14th, you just need to get 10 wins in My Team Unlimited. 10 wins. Then show up on the 14th at 10 a.m. Pacific time.
10 a.m. Pacific time.
And then you're going to have 4 hours to get as many wins as you can without losing, and then the top 4 on each platform will get in.
4 hours, top 4.
I didn't even put that together, Robbie. Look at you.
So we held the second qualifier in November. It looks like we have a new #1.
One of the best, the lively and colorful Riverwalk. Just part of what makes San Antonio such a great town. It's Friday night, and live on 2K Sports, we're going to bring you the NBA in all its excitement. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter is David Aldridge. Now that we have a second, let's take a quick peek at the rebounding numbers for the last handful of seasons for Cousins.
We've seen him regress as a rebounder these past few seasons. His numbers have come down in that department, and I'd like to see him concentrate on bringing them back up. I'm sure the team would as well. You can never have enough rebound.
And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. D.A.?
Well, guys, DeMar DeRozan is a prolific scorer, but he's also a dangerous drive and kick weapon. He said, I never pay attention to the defender.
Great vision, David. Thank you. Clark, great guards tonight for both teams. Did you ever spend any time in the backcourt at any level when you were playing?
No, I was a ball-handling forward, Kevin, and it served me well, but I was not a guard. I was a forward that could dribble and pass fairly well.
So you were ahead of your time, because that's all we see now in the NBA, right? Guards are not always bringing the ball up.
Yeah, you know, somebody just mentioned that to me, Kevin, that I was maybe a tad ahead of my time back in the late 70s.
Now Sacramento starting 5. Red Van Vliet out there with Hardaway. Then it's Thompson, then it's DeRozan, and it's Embiid in at the 5 spot. And for the Spurs, they've got Young, Brown out there with Kyrie Irving. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins, and it's Layman in at the 3, the small forward. Yep, that one goes.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
Well, I'm going to credit the screen. I mean, that's a good, strong pick he lays there.
Here's Brown. Doesn't go that time. Good D by Embiid. Van Vliet looking around. Out to Hardaway. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That's on Jaylen Brown. And the big contract for Tim Hardaway Jr. back in 2017, Clark. 4 years, $71 million.
Hey, sometimes timing is everything. We know that in our world and in all the other worlds out there. And think about that now. Tim Hardaway Jr. has made more money than his all-star father made in his whole career. Hardaway Jr., young and athletic, and a really rock-solid player at both ends.
That free throw good from Hardaway.
And the Spurs, I've heard it said, the most process-oriented team in the league.
Well, that's an understanding of what it takes for them as a small market team to be successful. A good assessment of what they have to do as the San Antonio Spurs to be good. Scouting, coaching, chemistry, all part of that.
He's off on the second.
You know, I think we all know that Hardaway Jr. is a really good scorer. I mean, the next step for him is improving defensively.
And for Jaylen Brown, part of the challenge last season, especially with the return of Gordon Hayward, was meeting the high expectations, Greg, in a reduced role.
Competition for minutes, and then early on, he struggled. We all see the potential, but it's really about seizing the moment every time you're on the court.
Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good.
And the vertical that Brown has is quite impressive. As relentless a finisher that you'll find in this league.
And Brown drops them both. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for Sacramento. We're about 1 minute into the first. Here's DeRozan. Got it. Good job in the low post.
Check out the body control from DeRozan there, guys. I mean, clearly there's contact, but it's almost impossible to affect his shot.
Irving drives in, and it's good for 2.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That's his first foul. About a minute and a half through the first quarter. Now here's Van Vliet. He's covered by Irving. Deflected by Young.
Thaddeus Young using that expansive wingspan to put that shot in reverse.
Irving passes to Cousins. Brown against Hardaway. Brown inside. Good D by Thompson. For Sacramento, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. On the wing, Hardaway. He's covered by Brown. Here's Embiid. The rebound by the Spurs. Coming into this having notched a win against the Rockets in their last game.
Yeah, and in that one, they caused a lot of misfires with their intensity on the defensive end.
And the hustle they showed on that end was infectious, contagious. I mean, their squad really got after it.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Now, here's Thompson. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Here's Layman, guarded by Embiid. Ball's knocked loose. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in, Van Vliet passes to Embiid. The shot will not fall.
That's exactly the look they wanted, guys. Right guy, right play, wrong result.
On the wing, Irving, covered by Van Vliet. And that one's good, Irving.
Boy, I tell you, I don't know if there's anybody better than Kyrie Irving close to the basket. He has a great feel for how to score inside.
So the Kings call timeout. They're first. Scouting reports very detailed, Clark. Talk about the types of insights those scouting reports would reveal about your team and your opposition.
Typically player tendencies and team tendencies. How do they win? What areas are they really strong in? A team being excellent on the glass or tremendous in transition offense or very physical. I mean, just those types of nuggets that you would have for a team and then individual players so that you could try to position them to not be at their best by what you did to counteract them.
Good explanation.
Total breakdown from the defense there. I mean, he'll usually take advantage when that's the case.
Pass to Cousins. One up, one down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
And Irving is comfortable running the offense. When a teammate's open, he's quick to whip it around and get him a good look.
Now here's DeRozan, coming off a solid outing against Portland. They need this one. Offensive rebound. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's on Thaddeus Young.
all the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
He hits the second from the line.
We've seen this explosion of Canadian players in the NBA. And really, Tristan Thompson led that way. The fourth pick back in 2011, Thompson was, at that point, the highest drafted Canadian in NBA history.
Now, here is Young. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Here's DeRozan, trailing by 2. Van Vliet off the mark there with the three-point shot. And Thompson may have led the way for Canadians, but as far as where the league is going, Greg, he's a throwback player.
I mean, a rebounder and rim runner. His game is built on toughness and hustle.
Sacramento's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
This is something DeRozan does all too well. I mean, presses the issue, forces the issue, and then gets the defense to overcommit.
It's common to see wing players improve their perimeter shooting in the league, but DeMar DeRozan's most striking growth has been his ball handling and playmaking. He's been dynamic with the ball in his hands.
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. Greg DeRozan watching a ton of films of guys like Andre Miller and Sam Cassell operating in the pick and roll.
Not only that, Kevin, to strengthen his left hand, he'd use it for daily activities like writing, leaving no stone unturned to become an expert initiator.
And he's good on the second. The Kings trailing. Van Vliet up top. He's covered by Irving. High arcing shot, and it's good on the layup.
Boy, that was a sweet-looking teardrop. There's very little defense for that.
Passes it to Layman. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen. While we have a break, we can see which teams have made the most of their second chance opportunities over the last 10 games. The Spurs second, the Kings in third.
I mean, both of these clubs rebounding at such a high rate. They're not just creating second chance opportunities, but even third and fourth opportunities at times.
Now here's Van Vliet. 14 points from him the last game against Portland.
You know, you'd like to see a little more effort there defensively, but maybe they wanted him to take that shot, baited him into it.
Irving with the ball. Covered by Van Vliet. A nice shot by Irving. Irving's got 6. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Sacramento Kings. Trailing by 2. The pass to Hardaway.
That's his second foul of the first quarter, and they may want to sit him for a while to avoid number 3.
He's made 1 and missed 1 so far in the game.
An 85% mark from the line. There aren't too many players in the league who are going to sport a much better percentage.
You know, even in games where he hasn't been at his best this season, I mean, he still managed to get it done at the charity stripe when he gets his opportunities.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. JaVale McGee's checked in for Cousins. Parker comes in for Thaddeus Young. And it's Lonnie Walker in for Brown. Clark, the level of nuance in the footwork that keeps evolving every few years. Talk about the changes that you have seen from the time you've played to the exquisite footwork we see now.
Well, you know, some of my peers would say that these guys are being allowed to walk and have it talked about as good footwork. So you work with Reggie and other guys, and I hear them all the time saying guys are getting away with carrying the ball and so forth. But the footwork is pretty good. I mean, when you think about it, the step-back three-point shot, the ability to make plays off the dribble, all attributed to footwork. I think it's just an evolution of the game. As players see more and more of excellent work on the court, they're able to emulate it a lot sooner and a lot better.
And it's the Kings with the ball after the basket by San Antonio. Left side, DeRozan. Here's Thompson. McGee with the block.
Yeah, if you had to pick the top priority for McGee, I think that's it. Contest shots, block shots, get in the air, use that length to deny shots at the rim.
Now here is McGee. A 14-point game for him in the win against Houston. From 17 feet out. Rebound by the Kings.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Yeah, the half and half balls are going their way, and that's really a function of effort and intensity. You know, the ball doesn't discriminate. Whoever goes and gets it, that's who owns it.
Now here's Embiid. Following the miss by Kyrie Irving. And it's good, 2 points.
Joel Embiid has a nice shooting touch and does not lack for confidence, and seems to be getting better in the mid-range area.
Now, here is Irving. Tight defense on him. No good. He missed it. Brings him to 3 for 8 this game.
You know, he just has not been himself this period. Just too inconsistent up and down at the offensive end.
Here's Embiid. But they get it back. Thompson against Parker. Just 5 to shoot. Thompson passes to DeRozan. And finished off by DeRozan.
Well, you look at DeRozan's game, and he's a powerful finisher. That's really one of the main staples of his attack.
And he's going up for the alley-oop. It's stolen by DeRozan. Hardaway trying to free himself up. That shot missing. Now San Antonio takes it the other way.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Irving from long range. And Embiid pulls it down. Embiid's got 4 rebounds in this game. Van Vliet with it. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. Pass to DeRozan. Elbow shot. Here's Thompson, and it's Thompson with the jam.
Nothing soft about the putback there.
And why chance it, right? Take the dunk if you've got it.
Well, you know, if nobody's going to put a body on him, then that's going to be the result.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. This game against Sacramento is the first time they've met this year.
And we'll see if anything's different this year, because they didn't match up well with this team last year, getting swept in the season series.
And, Greg, not what you'd expect when you look at the standings. I think this game is important to them to try and turn the tables here.
And some changes here for the Spurs. Johnson, he's checked in for Lehman. And it's Napier in for Irving. And the Kings will go for a different look here. Bobby Portis is checked in for Joel Embiid. Robert Covington comes in for DeMar DeRozan. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Fred Van Vliet.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
Again, the miss by the Spurs. Sacramento leading by 4. Here's Covington. His last outing, he had 8 points. And that one drops.
And, you know, Covington really excels with the mid-range jump shot. It just looks like he's really comfortable rising up from there.
Now, here's Napier. Knocked away. And the ball out of play. The Kings will inbound.
A moment now to see the numbers for Jabari Parker. Averaging 13 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. The contributions he's been making on the floor have been a boon for this team. Great stretch of games for him.
Yeah, you know, they've given him more responsibility, and he's responded. And the way he's going, I think his role is only going to increase.
Now, here's McConnell. No points in the game yet for him. Outside Portis. Poked away.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
And here's Walker outside. Bangs home the trifecta.
Not a bunch of energy from the defense, which is why he was free to knock that down.
50 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Now, here's McConnell. Napier covering. Shoots a fader. A shot by McConnell, no good.
Well, you know he wants that one back. I mean, more often than not, he'll sink that mid-range jumper.
Here's Napier, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And really, the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
The Spurs have been successful on 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this point. And the first one at the line is good. Crowder, he's checked in for the Kings. And so he makes both from the line.
Making it look effortless. Send this guy to the stripe. He's going to cash in more than not.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. We've got 13 seconds left in the first. McGee with the block. Now Parker. From deep. And no good on the last second attempt this time. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Kings lead by 1. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. One of the league's best point guards, Kyrie Irving, had this to say about his competition.
2011, I came into a league where
Some say, Greg, a golden age at the point guard position.
Yeah, and Irving right there with the best of them. He embraces the challenge.
And getting going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. And looking at what we've seen from Sacramento so far, guys, what do you think?
Just cashing in on second chance opportunities. That's how they built this early lead.
Boy, grinding it out on the glass. They've really been working for those points.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court for Sacramento, they've got Portis, Jay Crowder out there with Robert Covington. Then there's Bellinelli, and it's McConnell in at the point. Johnson dishes to McGee. That's a two-pointer from Walker. No good that time. Now Sacramento takes it the other way. They can look forward to the American Airlines Center after this game. They'll match up against Dallas. That is game 3 of this 4-game trip. Covington kicks to McConnell. Pass to Bellinelli. Over Walker. There's JaVale McGee with the rebound. Spurs trail by 3. Walker's shot is off. And for Sacramento, they're shooting a low 30% mark from the field. And here in the second, with about a minute and a half gone by, passes it to Bellinelli. Launches it. Nailed from three-point land. Bellinelli's got the lead up to 6 now for the Kings. The Italian Marco Bellinelli, one of the league's best sharpshooters, and Greg, very comfortable shooting on the move.
He always seems to be floating one way or the other on his shot. It wouldn't work for most shooters, but he uses it to evade the D. How about dueling from long range, just going at each other?
Looks to me like there could be something personal taking place here.
Back to McConnell. For 3, Covington. Good. And McConnell gets the assist. Covington's got the lead back up to 6 now for Sacramento. Napier passes to McGee. Parker against Crowder. Parker kicks to McGee. from downtown, and again, it's the Spurs from deep.
Boy, guys, there have been entire seasons when McGee didn't shoot a three. Now he's getting into the act. Welcome to the party, McGee.
Now, here's McConnell. Napier covering. Goes up at the stripe. And it's JaVale McGee with the rebound. Spurs trail by 3. Outside, Walker. Kicks to Napier. It's hauled in by the Kings. Portis has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Stolen by McGee. Johnson outside. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Here's Napier. And the Spurs scoring again. Kings have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. And the pass to Bellinelli. Back to McConnell. Just 5 on the clock. The Kings need to get off a shot here. Sacramento again missing. So for the Kings, their last game a win against the Trailblazers. Now here's Napier. He's covered closely. Count that bucket.
Boy, that was a sweet-looking teardrop. There's very little defense for that.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, after years and years of rebuilding, the Kings are finally a team on the rise, and they're earning respect. Draymond Green said they've got a lot of young talent, never quit, probably the fastest team in the history of the NBA. Green said after he plays them, I leave the game exhausted. I go home, I'm dead. And Kevin, we know that Green is pretty accustomed to going all out.
David, he sure is. He's got a lot of engine in him. Thank you so much. And stolen by McConnell. And the wide open shot from Bellinelli. Good. And McConnell gets the assist. Bellinelli's got 6.
Yep, you know, after a scoreless first period, he's really turned it up a notch, building some momentum.
Now here's Napier. He's covered by McConnell. And it's Napier missing.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
Pass to Bellinelli. From 12 feet out. Rebound San Antonio. Johnson outside. Pass to Cousins. Over Bellinelli. Kicks it out to Johnson. Poked loose. And it's out of bounds to the Spurs as San Antonio retains possession. And now you see the 2K leaderboard. Not only have these teams caused a lot of turnovers over the last 10 games, but they've scored off them as well. Number 1, the Kings.
I mean, they've gotten a little more aggressive defensively. You can become a more confident team on that end, and so much of it, I think, has to do with forcing turnovers and creating offense. And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
And the Spurs with some changes. Jake Layman comes in for Johnson, and Irving subbed in for Shabazz Napier. A big group substitution here for Sacramento. Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Crowder. DeRozan comes in for Robert Covington. Hardaway's checked in for Marco Bellinelli. And it's Fred VanVleet in for TJ McConnell. DeRozan, again the miss by the Kings.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down, try to get some easy ones.
Here's Brown. That shot off. Now Sacramento takes it the other way. Fresh from a win against Portland.
Yeah, I felt like they attacked, but with a purpose. They knew what they wanted to accomplish coming in.
Boy, it really showed the trust they have in one another. I love how they got after it, and you could feel that they were playing for each other.
That one's good. Maybe that'll get them going after a 2-for-6 start.
Well, you got to respect not only the strength and size and agility of Embiid, but how about his balance, too? Able to finish through contact. That's impressive.
And the shot is good. And it's 8 points for Kyrie Irving.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
Back to Van Vliet. Outside Hardaway. Up again. Thaddeus Young grabs the miss. Young's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Irving against Hardaway. Now here's Cousins. 14 points from him the last game against Houston.
Yeah, but the rebounding in that game as well was just tremendous. I mean, he dominated the backboard.
Mark, you were so good at such an early age in your basketball career. At what point did you personally realize just how far the game could take you?
You know, it really resonated with me, Kevin, I think at a summer basketball camp at Miami of Ohio when some of the better campers, high school campers, were asked to play with the college guys at night. And then during pickup games in my hometown of Cleveland with some of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jim Jones and the late Terry Furlow and Mike Mitchell, and being able to compete somewhat with those guys at 15 and 16 years of age and having them encourage me to keep going and that I'd have a chance to do what they were doing at the time, which was play pro ball.
Van Vliet can't get it to go. And so it's Irving. He brings it up for the San Antonio Spurs. They trail by 1.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And, you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Embiid inside. Cousins is there. And stolen by Cousins. In transition, here comes San Antonio. Irving from long range. That's all good, and that's his 5th basket of the game. He's shooting 5 for 11 now. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle stats for San Antonio?
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And the other thing they've done well is they've run the shooters off their sweet spots. They've really closed out well and forced them to put the basketball on the floor.
Fast break, here they come. Jumps up, throws down the breakaway jam.
A fantastic heads-up play there from Young to find the open man.
And here are the Kings now. 4-point game. Here's Van Vliet. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
Brown finds Cousins. And they double up Cousins. Brown outside. Shot clock at 5, and Brown throws it down.
Just awesome speed from Brown. Blasting off towards the bucket and slamming it down.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento.
It was to the chagrin of many that Cousins joined the Warriors last season, but it looked to be the right choice for him. He got to take his time rehabbing and came back to a team in first place with no pressure.
Thompson, he's checked in for Ken Birch.
All right, a moment to check out stats for Embiid. Tremendous numbers for him over the last 10 games. Getting around 24 points per, 11 rebounds, and over 2.5 blocks. And you talk about guys who just have a nose for putting up points. He is one of them.
Yeah, he sure is, and he rarely has back-to-back bad games. If he has an off night, he usually follows that up with a big night.
Yeah, and you got to be careful with Cousins around. His shot blocking can be a factor.
Brown wide open. He fires. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. And now a 9-point San Antonio lead. Sacramento's gotten half their shots from three-point range to go down in the second quarter. 3 of 6 from downtown. There's 1:54 left in the first half. Here's Van Vliet. And he can't stop the run as he misses. And with Cousins last year, you know, Greg, he came back with a bit of a minutes restriction.
And Kevin, time will tell just how full a recovery Cousins can make. But last year went how he hoped it would with regards to taking a year to get things right and be in a good situation.
You know, in the loaded West, DeMar DeRozan, not an all-star last season after being one multiple times in the East. His first time missing the festivities in 4 seasons.
That's good from DeMar DeRozan. You talk about that edge, Clark, for DeRozan, very focused on proving his doubters wrong.
Nothing wrong with playing with something to prove, with that kind of attitude and mindset, turning that negative into a positive. And most importantly, it can't just be a mindset. You have to put the work into it as well. And he's done that, gotten better each year.
Here's Layman. He averages a bit over 6 points a game, just 4 to shoot. Here's Cousins. Again, the Spurs good for 2.
That's a shot he shouldn't be afraid to take more often.
The feed to Embiid, and the rejection by Cousins. Outside Irving. Good, and it's Cousins picking up the assist. Irving's got the lead up to 11 now for the Spurs.
And he's done this so much that we almost take Kyrie for granted. Let's take tonight to appreciate what a special player he is.
Here's DeRozan, hits the jump hook. DeRozan's got 4 points in the quarter.
Give credit where credit is due right there. A terrific assist.
Brown feeling it out a bit. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a 3-point play.
Shot's good.
And after that ragged first quarter, they're getting some momentum, some confidence. Nice flow.
Yeah, and, you know, the game of basketball, as you well know, Greg and guys, is a game of runs. So their offense is starting to move in a positive direction now. Nice upswing here.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. JaVale McGee's checked in for Cousins. Parker comes in for Thaddeus Young. And Walker's subbed in for Layman. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. And here is Van Vliet. Drops in the layup for 2. Van Vliet's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And so it's the San Antonio Spurs with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've...
Thanks a lot, Kyrie. What got you going in the first?
My teammates were just fighting me, setting good screens, and just stay aggressive, not only for myself, but for them. You know, we're kind of in a hole in the first quarter, kind of sluggish. Came out in the second quarter, kind of sluggish, but just got to pick it up on the defensive end. That's where it starts.
Kyrie, thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Program. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. The game was always within a fairly narrow margin, with their largest deficit of the period being 6. With an excellent team performance in the second quarter, they were able to push ahead, scoring easily and defending with a lot more intensity, pushing out to a 10-point lead here at the half. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how San Antonio played?
Well, they played excellent defense. You know, they set the tone by getting down and dirty at the defensive end. They really controlled the momentum with the attitude and the toughness. They might need to make some adjustments in the second half, but so far, they look good, just like me.
And Kenny, what'd you see from Sacramento?
Poor efficiency on offense. That's what jumps out at me. You aren't going to win many games shooting under 35%. Bad shot selection.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. Kyrie Irving really making a difference here.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And you know what? I'll be interested to see just how much he's got left in the tank. That first half had to take a lot out of it.
DeMarcus Cousins out there with Young. Then there's Irving. Then there's Jaylen Brown. And it's Layman in at the 3 slot. So that's who Greg Popovich starts the second half with. San Antonio with the ball. Outside Irving. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Over Hardaway. Thompson with the rebound. The Kings trail by 10. To the inside. DeRozan. Good, and Van Vliet gets the assist. Van Vliet's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Now, here is Irving. He's tightly guarded. Softly drops in the floater. Irving's got 15 points.
It sure was textbook, and Irving is fantastic in the screen roll. A solid decision maker in these sets, and he also can put it in the basket himself if he needs to.
Here's Hardaway, and there are the Kings with another bucket. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play. Passes to Young, to the paint. Here's Cousins. The jumper from the free throw line is good. Cousins has got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Simply taking advantage of what the defense has given them, and they've really made the most of it.
The 15-footer. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Here's Brown, and there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And the foul called on the Sacramento Kings.
The way Brown sprints towards the rim makes the defense uncomfortable. I mean, he's really adept at drawing contact on his way to the hoop.
For San Antonio, they have made 7 out of 9 when they've stepped to the line. That free throw missing. Clark, name some traits that make for a great team leader. You've been in that role. What did you like and embrace, and what have you seen from others?
Well, I think it starts with humility, a real sense of who you are and what your role is on the team as a leader, and then a really good example setter. I think those qualities are essential. Humility speaks to selflessness, but also being one that holds yourself accountable too.
Now here's Van Vliet. He's covered by Irving. Brown against DeRozan. Unable to get that one. Good defensive work there by Young. San Antonio leading by 11. The deep 3 from Irving. Rebound by the Kings.
And, you know, even though that shot didn't go down, I like how they got him a wide open look in space there.
Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. They get it again. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And a quick look here at some of the numbers for Embiid.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage. And it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls.
You know, guys, DeRozan hasn't just had a great NBA career. I mean, he's had international success, too. 2 gold medals with Team USA from the Rio Olympics and the 2014 World Cup.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Here's Brown. Good on the jump shot. Brown's got 15.
Hey, Brown is very serious about his scoring. I mean, he's got the green light to fire up from just about anywhere out there, and he takes full advantage of it.
And the shot is good. The Spurs lead has been cut down now to just 9 in the bucket from DeRozan.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, DeMarcus Cousins suffered an Achilles injury, and it was a major setback for him, but it was also an eye-opener. Cousins said, any given day could be your last day playing, and all the celebrity, all the fame ends. My love for the game has grown, but at the same time, I want to be more than just a basketball player. Kevin, challenges can put anything into perspective.
Thank you, D.A. The Kings have been shooting right around 75% of the line, 9 of 12 so far. And he makes the first. Mark, the relationship between referees and players reaching a fever pitch. What can be done to smooth those waters and mend those fences?
Well, I think first and foremost, players have to give. Both sides have to give in this equation, but I think it's incumbent upon the players to accept and respect the position of the officials, and the officials have to also be willing to engage in interacting well with the players. It's a two-way street, but I think most of that is on the players because they have to control how they respond to officials more than officials have to respond to the players.
Now here's Van Vliet, guarded closely. The pass to Bellinelli. Pass to Portis, out to DeRozan. And they double up DeRozan. Bellinelli for 3. Sacramento gets it back. No good, shot missing.
You rarely see him missing dunks, but the defender was right in his face on that one, and it threw him off just enough.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
Johnson, he's checked in for Lehman. Jay Crowder's checked in for the Kings. T.J. McConnell comes in for Fred Van Vliet. Napier feeling it out a bit. Pass to Brown. Back to Napier. Launches a 3. That shot misses. And the Kings going the other way now. Crowder goes in. Off the left rim and out. And so Napier will bring it up for the Spurs. The 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. Crowder from outside. Again, the miss by the Kings. San Antonio's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Napier with it. He's got 11. Six to shoot. Bellinelli pulls it in. Bellinelli's got 4 rebounds in this game, and they're moving it up. A shot by Crowder, no good.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
Young finds Johnson. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. Puts it up from 12. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. Portis has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Fade away. The shot comes out, and San Antonio will go the other way with it. It's Brown on the wing. Pulls up from the corner. The offensive rebound, and it's Johnson with the jam.
There it is, guys. One of those effort plays that makes a big difference in the game.
And, GA, it is definitely making a difference so far today.
Well, you know, if you're not going to take care of the defensive glass, it's going to be hard to come away with the win. Right
wing. Cousins inside. Bellinelli is covering. Knocks it loose. It's stolen by Brown. They've got the 5-on-3 advantage. Bellinelli pulls it in. Bellinelli's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Inside and stolen by Cousins. Now Napier. He's got 11. Now here's Cousins. And it's in there. Cousins has got 8 points. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for San Antonio.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
They have, but you also can't overlook how well they've defended the rim, as they've challenged every shot and also gotten quite a few blocks as well.
And some changes here for the Spurs. JaVale McGee's checked in for Cousins. Jabari Parker comes in for Thaddeus Young. And it's Lonnie Walker in for Johnson. And a change for the Kings. Covington's checked in. DeRozan. And he uses the glass on the layup. 17 points in the game.
The determination that DeRozan brings to scoring in the painted area, really unmatched. He's not going to mess up too many of those chances.
Covington against Brown. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Robert Covington picks one up. For San Antonio, they have shot the ball pretty well from the line, going 8 of 11. First free throw is good.
Taking 2 shots.
That one is no good. The Kings trail by 15. Crowder, the pass to McConnell. Back to Crowder. Walker with the rebound. For San Antonio, they've gone 7 of 15 from the field here in the third quarter. Takes the 13-footer. It's hauled in by the Kings. Portis has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Outside Crowder. Pass to McConnell. Clock at 6. That's a 2 from Crowder, and he hits the jump shot. Spurs leading by 13. And out of Marquette, Jay Crowder, a sturdy two-way wing player.
A great system player and glue guy. He had his best years with the Celtics. On the final year of this contract, a great value considering what he brings to the table.
Boy, for a 7-footer, he's got really good bounce, does JaVale McGee, and doing a nice job working on the glass there.
And it's McConnell with the ball. He'll bring it up for Sacramento. And there's the pass to Portis. There's the dish to DeRozan. And it's blocked by Brown, and it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Brown. The Kings making a switch here. Birch is checked in. Five on the clock. Crowder, the pass to Birch. And that one is off.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
Unwilling to let up, even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
Yeah, I love the fact he doesn't play the score. He just keeps coming, attack mode. He doesn't know how to step off the gas pedal.
Back to McConnell. On the wing, DeRozan. Guarded by Walker. Yep, that one goes in there. DeRozan's got 19 points.
You know, he's got to be exasperated right now, fellas. I mean, playing excellent ball, but they're still losing.
Brown kicks to Napier. Parker passes to Walker. To the middle, wants to get it to Brown and does. And he gets it to go.
And, you know, really, guys, Brown is very talented at knocking down shots, even when getting hit.
Irving's checked in for San Antonio. Sacramento also making some changes. Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Jay Crowder. Hardaway comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Fred VanVleet in for T.J. McConnell. That free throw good from Brown. 1:22 left in the third quarter. Now here's VanVleet. He's covered by Irving. VanVleet with the bucket. VanVleet's got 6.
Yeah, well done to finish that one off.
Outside Irving. Brown outside. No good on the triple.
One made 3 for him for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
Outside Covington. And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. Jake Lehman's checked in for Walker. Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Sacramento. .43 seconds left in the third quarter. And here's Covington from the arc. San Antonio with the rebound. And here's Brown outside. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got 3 assists in the game.
Boy, what a quarter for him. I mean, he's found his rhythm, and he's really riding that wave right now.
VanVleet with the bounce pass. Here's Hardaway. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Well, you got to give Hardaway Jr. credit, guys. I mean, he's excellent at finding ways to get to a spot and then make the defense compromise.
For Sacramento, they have made 10 of their 14 tries at the free throw line in the game.
And team free throw numbers really about as good as you could ask for, around 80% on the season.
And they've increased their percentage quite a bit since last season, guys.
And he knocks down the first one.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
Hardaway hits them both. 16 seconds left to play here in the third. Now, here is Irving. Defense is right there.
And the mid-range shot of Irving is impressive. He has wonderful form with that shot.
Here's VanVleet. No good on the last second attempt there. Jaylen Brown has been leading the charge for San Antonio. That quarter had to take a lot out of him. He racked up 12 points. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
For me, next to the big-time alley-oops and monster throwdowns, passes like that are probably the next best thing when it comes to sweet-looking NBA highlights.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that, to this point, has not been an evenly fought contest. On the court for Sacramento, Thompson is out there with Robert Covington. Then there's Tim Hardaway Jr. Then it's Fred VanVleet. And it's Embiid in at center, locking down the middle. VanVleet up top, and stolen by Irving. Out to the right wing. Here's Lehman. And the 3 off target. The Kings trail by 20. Hardaway kicks to VanVleet. Parker against Covington. On the wing, Hardaway. Shot clock at 6. Rebounded by McGee. McGee's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Parker dishes to Irving, and Robert Covington picks up the foul. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Clark, the NBA gives out so many awards at the end of the season. Is there an award missing that you'd like to see?
You know what? I think they've got the bases covered really well with the number of awards they give out, Kevin. But I would like to perhaps see consideration given to a sophomore campaign award. That would be kind of cool, because sometimes the Rookie of the Year, at least recently, has been a little cloudy because a rookie had been in the league a year, Ben Simmons, case in point, and then was counted. It was actually technically his 2nd year, but his 1st year of playing. Well, a sophomore award might be something worth adding to the list.
It's a great idea.
First 3 of the half, 2nd of the game. Can he heat up?
Irving with the steal. Yep, it counts. Irving's got 22.
And when Irving is feeling it, he's untouchable. A prime-time scorer who can spot up as well as create for himself.
Van Vliet passes to Thompson, and it's Thompson with the jam.
And although an undersized center, more than making up for it with some serious hops.
Irving looking for an opening. McGee, and it's McGee with the jam.
You know, all McGee needs, guys, is good positioning. Once he has that, dunking the ball is elementary.
4th quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Hardaway with a wide open look. Connects from 3-point range.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that's not the defense you need. You got to be tougher defensively.
Here's Brown. Another one falls for San Antonio.
I like the confidence and the assurance that Brown is taking these shots with. I mean, his mid-range game is actually on point.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. Clark, we hear a lot about the young basketball players in this country, the good ones playing in the AAU system. Is that the best way to develop talent for the NBA?
It's one of the better ways, because the competition level is quite good across regions and throughout the country with these AAU teams. I think there's some great AAU programs and some tremendous benefits to participating in AAU basketball. Some things are better than others with it, but overall I think it's pretty solid.
DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for the Spurs. Young comes in for Parker. We're in the final quarter of play here, 3 minutes in. Embiid kicks to Covington. Pass to Van Vliet. They double him with Irving. Thompson off on the layup. San Antonio leading by 22. Young passes to Irving. Count it. Irving's got 7 now in this quarter.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Yeah, it's really been quite a contrast. I like the way they're attacking the middle at their offensive end.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Pass to Layman. Clark, the two-way contract, a relatively new invention that gives players time in both the G League and the NBA.
I love it, Kevin, because it's another pathway for those aspiring to be NBA players to have a legitimate shot to make their dream come true. The G League is just a notch below the NBA in terms of overall talent. And so I love the fact that players who desire to be pros can have a pathway to get to the NBA by being part of the G League as well.
And these G League players are having an impact, aren't they? They're making a difference on a lot of teams.
Take a break. 40% of the players in the league have spent some time in the G League, so it speaks to the impact the G League has on the NBA.
And the first one drops.
Well, what's not to like about Joel Embiid? A physical specimen at over 7 feet tall, all the skill in the world and a personality made for stardom.
Both shots good from the stripe. You talk about Embiid's personality, whether it's on the court or through social media. Greg, he's not shy speaking his mind.
One of the best trash talkers in the league. He doesn't hold back, but it's never personal. He's embracing the spirit of competition.
San Antonio, DeMarcus Cousins taking 2 shots. First one falls for him. We've seen some ugly incidents last few years, Clark, between players and heckling fans. Can anything be done to fix it?
I think security in the arenas is important. Fans oftentimes that go across the line in interacting with players are usually fueled by alcohol. I don't know how you could control that element of it. The incidents are few and far between. We have seen a few more, but I still don't think it's an epidemic. But I think security, and then each team and each franchise should really be educational with its fans about what's acceptable behavior and what won't be tolerated.
Here's Thompson, and he finishes nicely on the layup. And he's now got the double-double, 10 points and 14 rebounds. Cousins against Embiid. Now here's Cousins. T right on him. Here's Brown. Busts the J after the cagey pass fake. Brown's got 4 points now in the quarter.
So good at getting to his spots and then cashing in, making the game look easy.
Outside Hardaway. Over Brown. That one off the back iron and out. And here's Cousins. He'll bring it up for the Spurs. Here's Layman, defended by Covington. And Covington sends it back. Passes it to Van Vliet. Over Irving. Van Vliet can't get it to go. Spurs leading by 21. And Cousins kicks to Irving. From the stripe. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. 26 points for Kyrie Irving.
That's just an incredible find coming from the big man. No debating Cousins' smarts on the court. He picks out a pass there that not many guys would have seen.
Again, the miss by the Kings. San Antonio's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Shots good from Young.
And, you know, Young is no stranger to overcoming aggressive defense, guys. That's just an example of his experience coming into play.
And Young comes over to help. Van Vliet kicks to Hardaway. That 3 off the mark. The Spurs have gone 8 of 13 from the field since the start of the fourth, sinking the majority of their shots. Young against Covington. Shots good from Young.
Yeah, letting it rip. They're just having fun right now.
Yeah, offensively, they've just been rolling. Impossible to stop.
Clark, take us inside the halftime locker room in the NBA.
Well, players typically just regroup individually. There may be some conversation between the players as a group, but then the coaches will huddle, evaluate what transpired in the first half, what adjustments need to be made, and then they'll communicate that to the team. And it's basically a time to rest and regroup for the players to adjust and strategize for the coaches.
Clark, do you think there's any videotape review in there, maybe showing players certain sets, certain schemes?
In this day and age, for sure, with the use of iPads and technology. If you go back to my time, there was no quick turnaround of video in the halftime locker room.
Right, right. I do know officials do that, too, in their locker room at halftime. So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Here's Neto. He's covered by McConnell. Now the pass to Walker. goes up on the wing. That shot off.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
McConnell scanning the floor. Pass to Crowder. Here's Birch. The shot's good. Birch has got his first 2 points of the night.
If you allow him to get that close, you deserve to get scored on.
Here's Neto. Six on the shot clock. The shot. San Antonio again missing. For Sacramento, they've gone 7 of 15 from the floor here in the fourth, right around 46-47%. Bounce pass from McConnell. Here's Birch. He can't hit that time. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. Here's Neto. He's covered by McConnell. And here is Maker. Back to Neto. From deep, Walker. The rebound by Patterson.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
And he's got to find other ways to contribute then, because his shot making is not happening right now.
Down low, here's Crowder. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Clark, there are strong divisions and there are weak divisions. The NBA might be considering removing divisions altogether and having only 2 conferences. What do you think?
You know, that's interesting. I like the divisions because that's what we've been accustomed to, but just having straight conferences, I wouldn't see much harm in that. You'd adjust the schedule accordingly in terms of how many games you play within the conference and how many times each opponent, but I think that could work.
Yeah, and the work they've done at the line has been impressive here in the second half.
Young outside. Can they get it? Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got 6 assists in the game.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Here's Van Vliet and the powerful one-handed slam.
And one step ahead of the defense with that solid screen.
And then, Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Boy, picture-perfect teamwork that time, guys. One guy sacrificing for the other. That's how you succeed in this league. You know, at the end of the day, size does matter, especially on the glass.
It's Hardaway with the drive. And the rejection by Cousins.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
The Kings trail by 21. Off his foot. And the ref saying he kicked it. Robert Covington's checked in for the Kings. And here are the Kings now. Pass to Embiid. From past the arc. But they'll get another chance.
There's another opportunity, and everything's going right for these guys.
And all of a sudden, things finally coming together for them. The deficit's still large, but now not insurmountable.
And, Greg, that kind of deficit, I think they're going about it the right way. I mean, they've got to get aggressive on defense. They need stops. And then you got to take care of the basketball at the other end so you get a good shot every trip.
Right here, baby. On the wing, Hardaway. He's covered by Irving, and they double up Embiid. Shot clock at 6. Hardaway passes to Thompson. Over Irving. Tried to bank it in, but he misses.
Unnecessary to go to the fadeaway there. It wasn't needed. Could have just kept it simple and taken the easy shot.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the Spurs.
When you shoot this well from three-point range, you're really hard to stop. The defense didn't rotate out fast enough to stop the hot shooters.
Yeah, exactly, Kevin. They were lethal from deep.
And so this will mark the 15th win of the year for them.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And it will be a fight, Greg. When you see an opponent that many times, it's inevitable that those games take on a little extra added meaning for the players.
And guys, one of the steady and outstanding players putting in another impressive performance, it was a big-time outing for Kyrie Irving.
Boy, I can't recall a play that he wasn't involved in, Kevin. He was so involved in so many plays tonight, a force on both ends.
Hardaway for three, and another three for Sacramento.
Look, it's always great to get into a rhythm, but do it when it matters.
Now they're playing with urgency, huh? They could have done it much earlier, before the game was out of reach.
Outside Covington. And a miss there on the triple. Irving with it. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and the first step in becoming a good team is your ability to win at home. And they really seem to revel in that opportunity, and this is what they...
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kell.
Diplo, Diplo. Woo.
Spinning from uptown, I put a voice down. Yeah, oh, then I keep to my chin and loco in the kitchen. Puzzle, we gon' like we Sammy Sosa. Put that Billy to the limit, you can smell a odor. Spinning, tell me when I'm pulling up in that two-door, diamonds different color. Uno, all these hundreds on me, mommy made my pockets look like sumo. I got money out there. Kick it like it's judo, let you. And when we get in mode, I'm a Cujo. Heard they tryna steal away, cut it out, cut it out. Spicy mommy's on the way. Saw my watch, she let away, I flood it out. Hey, talk to me nice, show you what deep in it about. Whoa, pipe down. First we shut them down, then we open up shop. Willis around just in case y'all forgot. They been tryna stop the way, but the way don't stop.